I'm about to ask you a question. And if the answer is yes, you need to listen to this episode several times and take action based on what we talk about here. Are you willing, tell me this, to commit to 1 year from today, going truly all in on your business, whether you already have an existing business, there's something that you want to start new, you're starting from scratch, any level where you are dedicated and you are saying, I am going to show up regardless. I'm going to invest money. I'm going to invest time. I'm going to invest my heart. I'm going to keep showing up, even when it feels like nothing is working, even when I'm in the middle period. I am going to keep going. Hi. You're live now. That's amazing. People just walked by while I was recording, and now it's like the Today studio here where people will stand outside. I call this like the glass box where my podcast studio is. And you can check out my Instagram stories, will often show it. And people will stand there and watch me live stream or record the shows. It's crazy. It's so fun. And I make sure all the windows are open. Also, my voice carries. So I should charge these people. They're getting free coaching by standing there and entertainment. Anyway, I digress. You are willing to show up every day regardless. It's uncomfortable. You don't feel well. You're in a bad mood. You get a bunch of no's, but you are committing to 1 year. If you knew that doing that would end up getting you truly, you would at the very least, after 1 year, be making consistent $15,000 months, even on a slow month, even on a month that you went on holiday. At the very least, you could also be making $1 million a year, 1.5 million a year. Would you do it? Would you give me that year and be able to weather that storm and use credit cards, use PayPal credit, find a way to make it work, find a way to show up, dig really deep? If your answer is yes, I'm scared, but yes, there's no way. Don't wait until you don't feel scared. That's never going to go away. I'm terrified a lot of the time. I just have become more comfortable with that feeling. And I know just to show up anyway. But if your answer is yes, you have the opportunity for your life to change by leveraging the online space. And my ass is going to teach you. What up, my people, my posse, my fellow crazies? This is your host, Tiffany Carter, and you are listening to the show that is going to grow your business, your bank account, that big, beautiful brain of yours, your relationships, your abundance, and everything in between. So, we're going to start out with some receipts today because I know how that brain of yours works. It's your brain that's in your way. Like, you are in your own way. I know you see what's possible for you, but then your brain tries to convince you otherwise, that, oh, you waited too long in life. You don't have the time. You need money to make money. You aren't as well spoken as Tiffany. You don't look this certain way. You're not good at technology. I could go on and on. It's just all bullshit. And you have a choice of buying into that story and co-signing on that story, or creating a different story for yourself. And when I catch myself in a story loop, it's normal. It happens. It's part of being a human being. It's part of fear. It's a part of a trauma response. If you're someone who has complex PTSD like me, all we have to do is say, okay, like, I hear your story. I'm not going to support that story. I'm not going to give energy and time towards that story because the cost factor is too high. But this is the story I will co-sign on. So I want you to catch yourself. But one thing that really helps is when I show you guys receipts, whether it is me literally showing you my bank account, and you can go inside my Instagram under the highlights, and I call it receipts. And I often share them inside my Instagram stories. I just showed how I had a $230,000, was it a day? And then by Thursday of last week, and I'm kind of looking up those of you watching on YouTube because I want to make sure I give it to you correctly. we were at like $360,000 for the week by Thursday, because this launch of my signature program, Selling with Soul, this is a 5-week live group coaching program where I'm teaching you my famous emotional-based sales techniques so that you can cash in online. I only offer it once a year. This has gone crazy. This actually sold out in 48 hours. And so I was able to accommodate more students because I brought in a full-time protege coach of mine, Emmy, so that we are able to handle all of you crazy asses. And those spots are now almost sold out. This is the last few days of our pre-launch sale. So we're not even in the official launch. This is the pre-launch sale where you get $1,000 off. You get my exclusive masterclass where I peel back the curtain on my exact TikTok playbook on how to monetize TikTok for any industry, any specialty, any personality in less than 15 minutes a day. And that's worth $4,500. Plus, there's a ton of other bonuses. There are payment plans that are no excuse for you to not be able to take action, get the clear direction on being able to monetize your gifts, passions, and talents online. You can go see all the things and the testimonials and the amazing results people have had and all the details in true Virgo Tiff style by going to projectmewithtiffany.com/selling with soul. You can swipe up. It's in the show notes here, and it's also in the description on YouTube and in my link in bio on TikTok and Instagram. I will not be able to add more spots once this sells out. In true integrity, I'm capping it. We're not going to take any more. As much as I love money, I love being able to know and trust my inner guide on the amount of people I can hold at any given time and deliver the best of the best so you get the best of the best results as long as you show up in this container. So don't procrastinate on this. And any questions, you can DM me at Project Me with Tiffany, preferably on Instagram, okay? And see if this is the right fit for you. But please read the page first because all the details are in there. Don't be DMing me with some crazy question that's very clearly answered on the page. Like, okay, you guys need to read. Here are the stats, okay? When I say making money online, I'm talking everything from podcasting to books to jewelry to t-shirts to you doing drop shipping to you having a TikTok shop to you selling courses to you being able to package legal services, even medical services, permanent jewelry, permanent makeup, getting amazing leads for your real estate business. I'm talking about all of these things. So listen to this. The global ebook market was valued at $18 billion in 2021 and is only expected to grow. The demand keeps growing. Okay. Growth of subscription services, subscription-based models continue to thrive. This subscription e-commerce market was valued in 2021 at $13 billion and is only expected to grow well past $25 billion in 2025. So subscription membership models like my Project Me Posse business coaching membership, for example, but there's all different types of models in there, but like Hulu, Netflix, those are subscription models, but you can do it at any scale as a small business owner. Online streaming revenue. You guys are going to really shit. In 2021, online streaming, meaning people going live on TikTok, people going live on YouTube, people going live on Instagram, being able to stream live programs. Like if you were in my 3 days to make bank, right? That's streaming. We're estimated at over $100 billion. And that was in 2021. So I really want you to have this sink in. I'm going to give you one more just so your brain can just be overloaded with it. The affiliate marketing model, meaning making money online by sharing products that you love whether it's stuff from Lululemon, whether it's a course that you really love, whether it's you having an Amazon storefront and you're recommending different products or camera equipment or cooking utensils and products. This is expected to reach more than $30 billion this year. In 2021, it was at 8 billion. It is growing rapidly. People more than ever want to buy from other people who they like, know, and trust versus buying directly from like a brand where you're not really experiencing the human to human contact. Think of the popularity of QVC. Why is QVC still around? And those of you guys who are my internationals, you might go, what the hell is QVC? Picture infomercials, right? Someone is doing a show and tell of a product. Someone is talking to you about how this particular device or this cleaning thing or this skincare thing or this piece of jewelry or this problem solving thing for your car will help you in your life and who it's good for and why it's so great and the features and benefits and how to use it. Think of the George Foreman grill. This shit was done back in the day. Think of Proactive, the acne line. That was the #1 selling acne line, which all it was some over-the-counter stuff, right? This wasn't prescription. #1 acne product in the world. So when I was in the pharma world and I was selling prescription acne stuff, my biggest competitor was from a damn infomercial with like Britney Spears and Justin Bieber coming on there with their zits saying Proactive changed their life. And I'm not saying it didn't work. I'm sure it did work for some people. Things like Beachbody, you know, when you or where you see like they do the infomercials and you can buy this, the shake weight, all of those are still in existence. That's why QVC is still one of the largest e-retailers in the world. So what I teach you to do is do a micro version of that for your own business. The model is already proven. It's been around for decades and decades and decades and has made trillions and trillions of dollars. I'm teaching you how to do it in a way that will feel genuine and good to you and to your ideal client and be able to do it on your own social media, on your own platforms, in your emails, if you want to do a blog, wherever you want to do it. It does not need to look like everyone else. In fact, I don't want it to. It needs to be genuine to you. So I know I just gave you and dumped a ton of stats. And if you're really untrusting of this, which would be concerning at this point to me, like, why are you listening to me? But if your brain has been whacked around enough, then go Google this stuff yourself and see. Your brain has been focused on an algorithm of how this can't work for you or why this isn't working or that it's going to be so hard or that you're going to have to give up time with your family or you're not going to be able to live the life that you want or have the time for yourself if you do this, if you do this new thing, if you grow your business, if you start this and go over here and change jobs. You're so focused on that, which only keeps you stuck. You could be stacking cash this whole time that you've been wasting all this energy on stacking excuses on why you can't. And you don't have to do any of this. This is not a must. But I got to tell you, this is like laughable how simple it is to bring in the money. But as I say often, the hard part is the mental gymnastics that go on, the vulnerability that goes on, the wanting immediate gratification and external validation. That's why I asked you that question at the top of the show. If you're not willing to give me a year in order to change your entire financial life, your lifestyle, everything, you've wasted years dreaming, wishing, hoping, wanting, craving, and not doing. And if you're not willing to give me a year and put the blinders on, this doesn't mean self-sacrificing and not honoring yourself and taking care of yourself. In fact, inside Selling with Soul, I make a clear point. You're putting your blinders on. You have to set boundaries and tell people in your life that you are dedicated and focused to doing this for your greater good, your dream, the greater good of all. And you need extra support right now and grace and patience. because this is going to be worth it. But you need to have space and that proper support. And you know what? Some of you don't fucking have the support. And I see you. I didn't either. I have it now, but when I started my first business, I didn't have the support. When I started Project Me with Tiffany Carter, the podcast, I had some support. I'm not going to say I had a ton, but I had some. So don't tell yourself the story. I don't have anyone. I've all the, you can, I'm not going to co-sign on your victim story. I don't have any family members. In fact, the one that I do have that's alive has threatened to sue me, says I'm the worst person on the planet to people. I mean, there's no rich husband. There's no one co-signing on a loan for me. So I'm telling you, if I was able to do this and help thousands of other people from all walks of life make money online, make money on their terms, being able to have true freedom and feel financially empowered, there's no reason you can't. But if you believe you can't, I can't change that for you. I can only empower you and encourage you and hold you accountable and show you the way. But if you're determined to co-sign on your old story, then you're not a good candidate yet for Selling with Soul. And that is not offered again till next year. And I'm not saying it in a mean way. I just don't want to see you in there if you are not humble enough and willing enough to change your story and show up, then it's not a good move for you. Then you need to keep listening to the podcast, maybe go into my Project Me Posse business coaching membership if there are spots. A quick note on Selling with Soul. If you go to the page and you go to click to join and it says sold out, just know, I know if you send us an email, even with an amazing story, we cannot add anyone else. So at the time of me recording this and putting this out there, because these are our final days of our pre-launch sale, we're going to sell out before we actually launch this full launch mode. So I'm just letting you know, we cannot add, I don't care if you offer to pay me double, we can't add any more people at this point. Okay. All right. So let me get into teaching you I call it my DISO formula. I like to simplify things as best as I can for you because you overthinkers, overanalyzers spin out into never land with things. And I had notes pulled up that made me really feel like I had my shit together. And I did have notes. And now I'm like, where the hell are they? Oh, here they are. Okay. I feel a lot better now. So the D. The D is determining your skill or passion that would light you up the most to be able to get paid for it. Are you really into design? Are you passionate about nutrition? Do you love going really deep on mental health stuff? Are you a skincare fanatic? Are you someone who has really developed a great brick and mortar business, an in-person business in real estate, in the beauty world, in the hair and makeup world, and you want to be able to leverage that for additional revenue streams to make money online? What are those skills or passions? It could be something you're already doing, but you want to be able to, so to speak, digitize it so you can be making money all through the night. So you can be tripling, quadrupling, even 15xing your revenue by going into the online space. What is that? And it could be something totally different. It could be that maybe you have a kid that was just diagnosed and is on the spectrum, and you want to do something to bring more awareness and help other parents who are in that same circumstance. Maybe you went through a health issue. I have a client who went through a whole burnout health thing, and she is now taking her skill set as a certified ganjier. I hope you're listening and you're like, what the hell is that? Think of a sommelier, but for weed. And it's a real thing, and you have to be certified. So she's a certified ganjier, but she wants to use the power of that plant to help people heal as it helped her. right? So it might be something you already have. Like she already had that experience as a ganjier, but then she had this health situation that then opened up a new avenue of how she could help people online. Does that make sense? So it doesn't always have to be so obvious. So you need to determine this. Now, for my multi-passionates who get really, really spun out here, where you're like, but I could do this, but I could do that. But what about this? Which one is right? That is a form of fear in disguise. It's kind of a form of perfectionism where you're like, if I don't pick the right thing, I have to be able to pick the right thing. I can't start unless I pick the right thing. And I don't want to pick the wrong thing, because if I pick the wrong thing and I go in that direction and it doesn't work, I'll waste time and money. And then, this is why I make selling with soul. You get lifetime access. You can, there's people who start down one path with something and they realize after a certain point, I was doing it more because I thought that's what would make me the most money, but it's not really what I want to do. I want to go in a different direction. So then retake the program and go through all the steps I teach you in the other direction. Like you literally get this for life. Most people do not do that at my level with a signature program, because the intellectual property you're getting in there is valued at well over $60,000. And you get lifetime access to the bonuses, and any updates I make, any bonuses that I add to the program, you get those as well. And they're spelled out right on the page. You get additional bonuses when you pay in full, and you get that additional bonus, my TikTok bonus, part of the pre-sale. Okay. So we are in the pre-launch sale right now. There's only a couple days left. Again, you go to the page and you go to click to join and it says sold out. It's sold out. There's nothing I can do. You'll have to wait till next year. You can certainly email us or DM me and go, okay, is there another program? I see it sold out. I waited too long. Is there another program I can do? In the meantime, you can certainly ask us that, but don't ask us to add a spot. It's not us being mean. We can't, and you've gotten enough warnings. Okay, so you have the D. The I, identifying needs. Now I want you to really go deep on this. This is where we really infuse my emotional based sales techniques. I need you to go on a depth of psychology that you would go on when you're psychoanalyzing someone in your life, a family member, a friend, a lover who is like hurt you or is acting crazy, and you sit there with a friend and you like dissect the psychology and act as though you are a therapist and like, well, they're doing this because of this and they're self-sabotaging here and then they're bet to do to do all that. And I know your asses do that. You need to do that with your ideal client. So whatever the skill or passion you're considering, and maybe there's 3 contenders, okay? And that's okay. Let's go through all 3. You have 3 contenders of what you want to maybe add into your existing business, what you want to start a business with. I do the same thing here. Like I'm coming out with a physical product. You guys are going to be shook over it. I'm very nervous about it, but I'm nervous is a nice way of me saying terrified, and we're doing it anyway. And I asked myself and my team the same question, right? I determined a skill or passion of mine that I wanted to be able to add in and monetize. And then I took a look at identifying the needs. What is a need that my ideal client believes that they have? Not what I know you have, but what you believe that you would need. And I'm going to serve your ass what you believe you need and give you so much more. What the problem is what most people do when something isn't selling. It's not because you're not good at what you do. It's not because you're boring. It's not because people are buying from someone else and not you. I mean, they are buying from someone else, not you, because your messaging sucks. Your branding probably is not on point, and you're doing shit from your ass with no proven plan. And you've got to be honest with yourself about it. But if you are trying to offer someone something that you know in your heart and in your expertise that they need, but they don't believe they need it yet, it might feel like a nice to have, or they might go, I don't need that. They're not going to buy, sweetie. They are not going to buy. It has got to be what they believe they need, and then you deliver even more so of what they need. Okay. So, for example, if I see this a lot with my healers, with my fitness people, where they'll go, well, they think they want to lose, they want to lose fat and they want to be toned. They want to be tight and snatched, and that's what they need. But the reality is the reason why that's not happening for them is the psychological stuff, is like self-worth stuff. And I go, okay. And I said, I don't disagree with you, right? I don't disagree. But if they don't see that the main thing is psychological, and you go to sell them a program of change your mindset to lose weight, this is from my ass, they ain't gonna buy it. It's gonna go, okay, I'm sure that's nice, but like they probably wouldn't even, they might even pay for something if it was like 19 bucks or if it was free, but they're not going to prioritize listening to it or taking it because that is not what they believe they need. That doesn't mean though, you don't teach them that with the thing that they buy. You need to lead with what they want, right? Like you need to, and be genuine to yourself. And again, I haven't had that much coffee, so the from my ass on this might not be that great. But I would maybe go with get snatched for summer with my powerhouse 15 program, something like that. And then you're saying like lose fat, decrease bloating, get ab lines, whatever. And they're like, oh, that is what I want. I want to get snatched for summer. And they buy that, but you are also going to make sure in integrity to what you know as the expert that you are teaching them in there all of the mind stuff, all of it. That you're teaching them the self-worth stuff and showing up for themselves and looking for the patterns of where they fall off and they don't stay consistent with their stuff and therefore don't get results. Do you see what I'm saying? So we want to identify what they believe they need. Even if you know what they need is ludicrous, I need you to brainstorm that. The S, you need to speak to those needs and desires of your ideal client. Notice I'm not saying sell, 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 sell. It's all semantics. Some of you get a rash when I say the word sell. We can say promote, we can say market, we can say share. No one's going to buy your shit if they don't know it exists. So you have to talk about it incessantly and be excited to and be emphatic about it because you care so much. I know you guys are all emphatic, whether it's with your kids, with your partner, with a friend, with a sibling, with even a stranger. You'll go, oh no, you have to listen to Tiffany Carter's podcast. Like you have to. Like if you're someone who's wanting to start a business, you have a business, you've got money stuff, like you have to listen to it, right? Like you're emphatic about other people's things. You have to be that emphatic about your stuff and speak to those needs and desires and struggles of your ideal client in every possible place that you have a touch point with people. This doesn't mean you have to be on 50 different platforms. I don't want you to be. This is not necessary. You'll get content fatigue and burn out. Just pick 2 main platforms that you enjoy scrolling on yourself and you go all in on that. For some people, my writers, they love doing blogs. They go on Medium. There's other blog options as well. Podcasts. Some people really enjoy the TikTok. Some people enjoy YouTube. Some people enjoy Pinterest. Like I want it to be where your ideal client consumes content and that you consume content that you actually want to be on that platform. And in emails and all your things, you are speaking to those needs, those desires that they want and relating to them on where they're currently at. You're currently feeling blank, then this is where you need to go. And I'll give you an example right now. Let me do a live from your ass example from me. So There, by the way, I should take a picture. There are 5 people watching me do this podcast right now because the 2 people came back and are standing there and watching and videoing. I'm like, your ex better tag me. And now there's 3 more people wondering what those people were staring at. This is hysterical. Like, I absolutely have to get a sign like the Today Show. This is so funny to, but I'm sure if it got crazy, then I would feel very exposed and unsafe. So I'm not sharing my address, but it is quite entertaining and it's a little distracting. So I'm trying to not look at them. Thank you for your patience. If I seem a little distracted, this is bizarre. But I would have stopped too. I would have been like, who is this bitch with this amazing multi-million-dollar ocean view who looks like a thug and whose voice is carrying through the entire city of Los Angeles? Thank you. So when you're talking about your stuff, you have to be talking as though you actually give a shit about your people. And if they're complaining for that long about wanting this and that or the other, then you've got to make a move. So here's my straight up tiff talk with you. Out of love, I serve it to you straight. You don't need to be enabled. You don't need to be coddled. That's not going to help you. If you truly want control of your own schedule, your own life, you can get on a plane and go wherever you want and stay as long as you want. You can put your kid in a special private school that feels better for you because the public school system is fucking whack now. You want to be able to get Botox. You want to be able to buy a cabin. You want to be able to upgrade your kitchen. You want to be able to wake up every morning seeing notifications that people bought stuff from you throughout the night and that you are not tied to have to constantly be pouring in energy and time in order to make money, that you actually get to work less and make more and have expansive space and freedom in your life while actually sharing your gifts with the world. You want to have that and change your money reality for good. In fact, maybe even be the only person in your family or community who's done it and be able to give back. That's not going to happen with you sitting back, wanting it, dreaming it, trying to figure it out. Maybe it could eventually happen, but you're not stacking the odds in your favor. If you want to stack the odds absolutely in your favor, that this is a guarantee to happen. I'm not saying I can guarantee you results because I can't guarantee what your asses do, if you follow through or not. If there was a way for me to guarantee that, believe me, I would, but that's on you. But you follow through and you show up and you also come in with a humble and willing and open mentality and say, I am absolutely giving this a year, even when it feels like it's not working, even when I'm unsure, even when I'm scared. I'm committed. I'm going to keep showing up. It's vulnerable, but I'm going to give it my all. And I am going to show up as the best that I can on any given day, even if it's 10%, 30%, 70%, 100%. I am going to keep showing up and I'm going to continue working on my money noise and my money story so I can keep shifting back into the abundance zone because I'm worth it. And I'm so sick and tired of my story and hearing myself and where I'm at and being constrained and trapped by money that I'm willing to do whatever it takes. And I don't want to wait any longer. I've waited long enough and wasted enough time. If that resonates with you, selling with soul is your move. Period. End of story. That's the move. Go to projectmewithtiffany.com/selling with soul. It's in the show notes. It's in the description. Don't say I didn't warn you that it's almost sold out. This is not some ploy for me to say that to create some scarcity. It legit could be sold out by the time you're hearing this. When you go to click join, if it says sold out, it is. And I'm not running it again until next year. I only run this once a year. And then you'll need to go and look and start in a different program of mine. But this is it. There's payment plans. There's no excuse. And your brain starts coming up with a story. well, I don't have the time and I work a jobby job and I can't be there for the lives. All this shit is recorded and you get lifetime access to the replays. I know not everyone can be there on the live. There's plenty of testimonials of people right on that info page that had jobby jobs or that had other responsibilities or were in wacky time zones that couldn't be there live that got amazing results. It's designed for you to get results whether or not you're live or not. But that's just another story that you're creating for yourself. And we have the pre-launch sale right now. So it's 1,000 off. It's never going to be less than this. This is the best price that you're going to get. Plus you get, this is the only way to get my TikTok playbook that's valued at $4,500. Once this goes into full launch mode after a couple days, if it's not already sold out, you do not get that bonus. That's gone. And you want that bonus. Like, we're easily making $10,000 a day off TikTok. Like, I'm even still shook over this. So do you see what I did there? That is what I mean. You have to go that deep with that much conviction and that much specificity. Is that a word? Specificity. God, it sounds smart. We're going to pretend it's a word, even if it's not. Now there's 6 people out there. Oh my God, this is, now it's getting awkward. Now I'm getting weird. Okay. Hi. I just waved. Oh my God, this is getting crazy. I feel like, do I need a bodyguard? Like this is insane. Okay. The offerings that they can buy to get them closer to where they want to go. I just spoke into the needs and desires of you, right? And understood where you were at. Your ass is in neutral. You're burning fuel in your car. If you have an electric car, you're wearing down the battery by being in neutral. You're not going anywhere. You're burning time. You're burning all sorts of things. And you either need to put the damn car in park or you need to shift it into gear. We either need to go or park it. And if you're not willing to park it on your dream, on the lifestyle that you want for yourself, for your family, for the greater good of all, then there is only one option, and it's to go. And it's to do it scared. It's to do it messy. It's to do it imperfectly. And it's to do it with clear guidance to stack the odds in your favor that you're going to win, that you can't sit there and flail around for another year, trying things, Googling things, seeing if this works, that doesn't work, getting defeated because it doesn't work, and then having to start over again. That's your choice. But I just gave you a full example of doing it, speaking to the needs and desires of your ideal client and having an offer that you know without a doubt, as long as they show up in full conviction, right? Like true, genuine, I'm here and willing and open to learn and follow through, that they'll get results. You don't need to give someone a 180 in their life. You'll never see me putting in, I guarantee you're going to make $100,000 in 5 weeks. Like, that's called a scam. And don't fall for that. Like when you see, oh, you can lose 30 pounds in 60 days. The word can is very tricky. Remember, my other business I've had 16 years is in medical and health marketing. You can use the word can. It's not saying you will. It's not saying guaranteed. You can. And I'm sure they do have some anomaly results of some people doing that, right? There's people that within the 5 weeks of selling with Soul are bringing in heavy coin, have tripled their business, have had their biggest months ever, their biggest weeks ever, have quit their jobby jobs, have absolutely sold out of their products and their main lines and their e-commerce stores. Where they're fully booked in their permanent makeup business and they've never been fully booked before, where they've gotten on podcasts, they've even gotten on local TV stations, they've even gotten in magazines because their branding and their messaging was so magnetizing and stood out. I have tons and tons and tons of examples of those. That could be you, but not if you don't show up. So I know without a doubt what this particular offering I'm using as an example will selling with Soul will do for you. So whether you're talking about a bracelet, you're talking about nail polish, you're talking about an oil, a serum, beanies, working with a particular CPA firm, a legal firm, being able to go on a yoga retreat. Your offer needs to match their needs, and you need to be showing up very clearly that I know for certain for this particular ideal client, for this particular offering of mine, this is going to help you get to where you want to go. Your job is not to 180 someone's life, by the way. That's the universe's job. That's God's job. That is not yours. You're a conduit. You're someone who can help aid them along the way, who can help get them there faster, can give them a boost, right? But don't start putting that pressure on yourself like, oh my gosh, I'm selling a retreat, or I have a Reiki healing I do. And then I have all this pressure because people are going to pay me this money. And then they're going to expect that their whole life will change. It's like, well, not if you don't, not if your messaging isn't saying that. Like, that would be delusional thinking for someone to think their entire life will change, but it also could. But that's not your job. They have to do their work too. It's like being in a marriage, being in a close friendship, being in a business partnership. All you're responsible for is your side of the street, and they have to be responsible for theirs. And the magic happens when you pair both together. When the client, the customer is showing up 100%, and the coach, the facilitator, the expert, the specialist, the healer, the creator, the designer, the artist shows up at 100%, that is when you see the most incredible results. And you'll see examples of tons of those on the Selling with Soul page. This is all here for you. I gave you the receipts. I gave you examples. I simplified it. You might need to listen to this again and write this down, but take a notebook and do this exercise for yourself. Your next big offering, your next big product, your next thing. Why can't that be you? Why can't you invent the damn thing that you put the pad in between the seat and the console of the car so when you drop a French fry, you don't get in a car accident? That's one of the best-selling products on Shark Tank. And all it is foam shaped and covered in fabric. How about the Sponge Daddy? A cheap ass piece of sponge that's shaped in a smiley face. Another one that's huge, right? Why can't it be you? You can go and self-publish. I have friends who've self-published notebooks, self-published workbooks, self-published planners, self-published normal books, ebooks. I have a client making 10 grand a month just off her ebooks that she has on narcissistic abuse. Just sitting there, guaranteed. It's always 10 grand, 10 grand, 10 grand, 10 grand. And then she now has time, right? Now she works with me. And so we've created other revenue streams, and then they stack upon each other. And pretty soon your ass is making $1 million a year. And you're like, what in the hell? How did this happen? Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Those of you who know it's time to go for it, I'm excited to see you in Selling with Soul and be your coach. Love you.